Good morning, everyone. How are you out there in the world, wherever you may be? Welcome to Mondays at Microsoft. This is where we break down the next 2 weeks across the Microsoft world for you with a special focus on modern work, AI, and Power Platform. I'm Karuana Gatimu. I lead the Microsoft 365 Customer Advocacy Group, and I'm here with my good friend.
Hello, I'm Heather Cook, Principal Community Evangelist for Microsoft 365 Customer Advocacy Group as well. Yay!
Yay, fantastic. Good morning. If you're watching on LinkedIn, you are going to get the links right in your feed as we talk about all the fantastic news. If you're watching us on Coffee in the Cloud on YouTube, we will post all those right after the show in the description. You will have all the links of the fantastic stuff we're talking about. And once again, boy, there is a lot. Oh my goodness. I want to give a small shout out because every week it's Heather that puts together the script for us. She does all this research. She's like our research maven. And, I come in on Sunday nights and fiddle with it and maybe add a thing or two. But thank you, Heather. That's a lot of work. And I really appreciate that you.
You bet. I love it. So
awesome. It's a great way to learn too. So, we're educating ourselves. We're all getting educated together. On Wednesday, last Wednesday, Microsoft and LinkedIn released the 2024 Work Trends Index. And this, I believe, is the first time that Microsoft and LinkedIn have done this research together. And it extended their reach to 31,000 people across 31 countries about labor and hiring trends on LinkedIn, so many productivity signals. Obviously, it's about AI at work. It's here. Now comes the hard part. And
right.
I don't know if I'm a fan of that title, but I certainly know that the work of user enablement and skilling, right, there's a lot to be done. And so this also identifies the investment that LinkedIn Learning is making on the new courseware that is available. There's 50 new learning courses that are out there for people to get up to speed on AI, and that couldn't be more important. So if you're trying to have the conversation with your management or trying to understand this whole AI thing, then I highly recommend that you check out this Work Trends Index, this report, but also this whole site. The research there is really top notch.
Absolutely. Proof points, y'all. Proof points, when you need to go get some data and some numbers for proving things. It's a great site to check out. Yeah, it's super, super cool. Other investments that are being made around, I was really excited about this one because I am a Midwestern gal at heart from the Mitten State, from Michigan. But this is to a neighboring Mitten, kind of the opposite one, in Wisconsin, home of the cheese curds, if you will. But we have, it's true. But Microsoft has announced a $3.3 billion investment in Wisconsin to spur artificial intelligence innovation and economic growth. So it's going to be in cloud computing and AI infrastructure. So it's the first manufacturing-focused AI co-innovation lab and an AI skilling initiative to equip more than 100,000 of the state's residents with AI skills. So very, very cool. President Joe Biden will join our President Brad Smith at the Gateway Technical College to announce this new investment. Really, really exciting. It's a physical data center along with this partnership with the Gateway Technical College to build a data center academy to train students, 1,000 students in 5 years to work in the new data center and IT sector jobs created there. Super exciting and wonderful to see these investments in our country and in manufacturing and in the Midwest. So
absolutely. Well, and that just goes with more things that are going on out in the space right now. Microsoft and OpenAI have launched a social resilience fund, right? And what does that mean? That means a $2 million fund to further AI education and literacy among voters and vulnerable communities. I said this in a speech that I gave a week and so ago. It's important that during this time that we're democratizing opportunity to AI and closing that digital divide. These kinds of investments and programs, as they continue to flow through the planet, are going to help do that. It's really exciting. That people need to understand this kind of complex digital ecosystem and be able to find authoritative sources of information. right? There's a lot of information out there on the internet. That doesn't mean it's all good. And so we want to make sure that people understand that, especially when it comes to voting, right? Especially when you're trying to research issues, as we all should be, to be educated about the things that we're voting on. So I'm excited about this. And Microsoft and OpenAI are two very large organizations. So it's great to see them put their money to work. But they're not the only ones who are doing this, right? AARP, I remember the day that I became eligible to join this American Association of Retired People, except for it's so much more than that now. They have so many fantastic programs for ongoing skilling, people returning to work, healthcare. They're just a fantastic organization. And they launched an older adults technology service called OATS. And it will develop and deploy training programs focused on educating American adults 50 years old and older on foundational aspects of AI. Right. Did you just flash your AARP card? Is that what you just did? Yes, you did. Oh my God. You have it handy. Okay, that's kind of frightening, people. That's kind of frightening. Mine is actually in my wallet on my iPhone. So, but the important thing is that, again, we have to really close the digital divide, make sure people have these basic and foundational skills. And nobody's better to do that with a deft hand than AARP. So thank you for doing that. And that OATS problem, check it out.
Yeah, that's
Program,
super cool.
not problem.
I have a box. I have a box of cards, because I don't carry cards around anymore because everything's digital, right? So I have these cards on my desk, and I'm like, what do I do with this? And I was like, oh my gosh, my AARP card I know is right in there. So
oh my Lord, that is just mine is in my desk someplace, but I put them all in my wallet on my iPhone so that I can have them. The ones that have that. By the way, if you're creating a program, make a digital version of the card so it goes on the wallet. That is a really fantastic way of having that go together. All right. Well, now we're going to move on. Now that both Heather and I are card-carrying members of AARP, we're going to move on and talk about product. We are going to talk about Microsoft 365 Azure and developers. Hey, direct streaming of SharePoint Drive item content in Microsoft Graph is now available. This is super important, right? You can directly download the content of a file of a Drive item in a SharePoint Online site through a single call, right? This didn't used to be that way. That is important. So for my builder dev friends out there, you want to make sure that you can use this new capability, because previously, if you were downloading file content via any endpoint mentioned, you used to get a 302 found response redirecting to this pre-authenticated download URL. And so, which is complicated and what have you. But now, this new Microsoft Graph endpoint, which is in beta, will enable you to download the contents of a file through that single call. So you can hit get, put in that string that's appropriate, use that content stream identifier, and it'll start downloading that content from the SATA Drive ID directly. So that's going to simplify. Hey, look, anything that simplifies coding and embedding and playing with content inside of your application and through your scripting and code is a good thing. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, and the devblogs.microsoft.com, if you aren't following that already, there was so many articles to choose from. So make sure you check that out if that's your area, because there's always stuff coming up on that blog. It's daily, 3 and 5.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. There's so much that's happening there. So listen, speaking of the dev blogs and everything that's going on, I'm really excited about our global community initiative. It is growing at Microsoft. We're super excited about that. And we're happy to announce that beginning May 23rd, we're going to expand what's now known as the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform Community YouTube channel. And we're going to call it Microsoft Community Learning. Yay! This is fantastic, right? This builds upon the fantastic work of people like Vesa Jovinen and Wim Korvitz, and so many other people who contribute to the community calls that happen there and more, and merges it together with this broader initiative that we've been driving across the company. What that means is you'll get content there that's from Microsoft Viva, that's from Windows, that's from broader spaces, and it'll include the Microsoft 365 Champions program calls and so much more. So you will have one-stop shop for all of your technical skilling, your demos, all that good stuff, the tutorials that they build, and all that community call content, all on Microsoft Community Learning on the YouTube channel. And this is just an exciting move forward. I know Heather and I are super excited about this.
Yep.
And that's also a part of another expansion that we're doing, which is you're going to find out all of this information on our new community news desk. Right. And so you think of the community news desk and it'll tell you about all the stuff we talk about in Mondays at Microsoft. We'll be able to highlight everything on Microsoft Community Learning, all the great events and community folks that are happening out there. Plus, it'll give us a home for all of our community spotlights. We want to highlight you. So that is also coming soon. We wanted to announce it today as we put all the final touches on these two things for all of you. Heather, I think this is a great step forward, don't you?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's one of those things where we're, community, right? And so I think, we all, though we have different divisions that we work in, and we're, always trying to come together and talk about things and bring things together more and more, just so that it's less confusing and less places to click. And it's just awesome to have such great partners. I was in Power Platform land for, the last 4 years, actually, as of last week. And then, coming back here to work on, Microsoft 365 and just all the great pieces coming together, it's super exciting. I think just any way we can make things easier, for people to find stuff. And I'm so excited. So thank you to our partners, our community lead partners at Microsoft. Thank you so much for working with us and, just saying yes to, ideas, and us being able to say yes to your ideas too. It's just super fun to be like, well, let's try this, and it is, sometimes it's like that, moment of like, bing, with the light bulb, and it's just been cool. And also when we get together at these events too, and we get a chance to sit with each other and talk in real time, like we also don't always see each other because, Vesa lives in Finland and other people, like I live in California, so it's just, I don't know. It's super exciting, and I'm really happy about it. So I'm like,
well, whenever Microsoft can live up to its one Microsoft aspirational goal,
yep.
It's a good thing. And there's still plenty of work to do on that, but we just you got to take the wins when you get them, and anything that helps us help you find the content and highlight your awesome work is going to be great. I'm really excited about bringing those community spotlights into a place that's going to get a lot more visibility for those awesome community members and super users.
Yeah.
Super users is a thing that they do really, really well in the Power Platform community. I think we can do it even better over on the main Microsoft Tech community. And this will give us that ability to really highlight folks who are doing awesome work. Not Microsoft people, all of you. That's way more important. So, yeah, it's going to be fantastic. And so with the expansion of Microsoft Community Learning and that YouTube channel, Coffee in the Cloud will really focus on user enablement content and the people side of all the technology. So that'll make it easier for people to know, hey, where do I have to find stuff? Technical skilling, demos, tutorials, community calls on Microsoft Community Learning, user enablement, and people interviews and things of that nature on Coffee in the Cloud. We'll make sure you know how to get there right here at Mondays at Microsoft and on our news desk, and we'll navigate it and give you all the links and all that good stuff.
No, I have that like in my head that when you say news desk, it's like da 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 da.
When you do music over there.
Yeah, I know. It's gonna be like da, 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 news at 11 or whatever.
I wonder if people are tired of us yet. You'll have to tell us out there. All right, Heather, what's happening in business applications? I need a drink of coffee.
Yeah. Lots and lots. So general availability of Power Apps Maker welcome content. So that's really exciting. So you can, when you're, as an admin, you can customize the welcome message that makers see when they sign into the Maker portal. That's really cool, so that information that you want upfront, resources, updates on Power Platform, all of that stuff can be on that welcome page, and that is GA. So that is very exciting.
One thing about that, I just want to interrupt you for 1 second. I don't know if people think about this, but in Microsoft 365, you can customize the sign-in page like that too. And in both cases, you can use that as a way of making sure people know they're on the right site. You know how phishing is so popular now, and people are redirecting you to sites that look like your login, but actually aren't. If you customize that, people will be like, oh, that image is the same. That's one of the reasons Microsoft IT does that and changes the image on a pretty regular basis, because then everybody knows it's ours, right?
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's a great point. Yeah, and a lot of the times those things they stay static, right? And you
Yes,
don't know. And it's a great opportunity to communicate, right?
right.
You want to get something out, and also welcoming people is a nice thing to do. You
Yes,
know,
it is.
so good stuff there on that and generally available. So out there right now. Another GA we've got of block unmanaged customizations. You're like, all right. Yeah. Ooh. So this is an environment that allows admins to block direct development and production environments by preventing unmanaged customizations. Okay, so some people are probably like, oh, wait a minute, but that's really good for admins to be able to do, right? Because you don't want unmanaged customizations and importing unmanaged solutions. So, this is a really great tool for admins, specifically in test and prod environments. And it's just more reliability, safety, auditing, all that kind of stuff that's available to admins, which is a really great thing. So both of those are GA. We got another GA. We got a lot of GA this week in the Power Platform world. Power Pages Maker Copilot is now generally available. So that enables you to design and build a complete site with all the forms and images and text with natural language instructions. It's in all geos except for Canada. Not sure why, but that's the deal right now. But it is also GA. And then in switching over to Fabric, who again also has tons and tons of posts in their blog every week. So we have to pick and choose through them. But these days, every company obviously is a data company, and every company has data that can give value to someone else, right? So data sharing is very common. It's essential for organizations. So they're introducing external data sharing. So a new way to collaborate across Fabric tenants, which is super exciting. So it's possible for Fabric users to share data from within their Fabric tenant with users in another Fabric tenant. So that's really, really exciting too. So got a lot of great stuff in the world of business applications that have come out this last week, and lots more that we didn't even touch on. So check out the blogs over there for sure.
Oh, so much stuff. So much stuff. Oh my goodness. So, we had a little event that you and I were at. There's always so many events going on. Don't forget about as we mentioned, the Global Community Initiative. Come to those general meetings. It is about events. It does keep you up to date on that. But even more, it's about how do you really become a community organizer? How do you leverage the community for your career and to bring people together in whatever way works for you? Really appreciate all the work that's being done there. Heather is leading that up, but it's from a Microsoft perspective, and it's led primarily by the external people, the MVPs on our Global Community Initiative board. Couldn't thank them enough. Got a chance to see some of them at Microsoft 365 Community Conference in Orlando. Oh my goodness. 3,000 people all together talking technology and user enablement and community and power skills. Heather led an awesome lightning talk stage with so many other types of talks available to people, because, in this business, sometimes we forget it's not just about the technology. Especially if you want a long and healthy career, doing things that you love, you need those power skills. So I'm really happy that that was so unbelievably successful. Check our Twitter feeds, check Instagram. Heather did a great reel on Instagram I got to see this week. And I'm like, look, there we are.
Yeah, that was super fun. Yeah, the show was really exciting and fun, and it was great to see people in person for sure. And for our Global Community Initiative general meeting for everybody, it's the third Tuesday of the month, so it's coming up May 21st, so coming up soon. So you can sign up at the link below, and definitely this is open to everyone. A lot of people have said to me, they're like, hey, we're trying to go and then talk as a team afterwards too, sort of making it like a lunch and learn, or making or even watching, because we record everything, right? And so we put it up inside the community tenant so people can get to them. So really excited, for more and more people to join. We had a big influx of folks join at the show, which was great. So, and also regional leaders, we just onboarded another 60 because we're big and global, and so we need all those folks and on board. And so we're gonna have an announcement about all of them soon. Very excited. We did a kickoff meeting this last week, so that was really very cool too. So
I
good.
loved doing our community calls directly from the show.
Yeah.
I fear that we have set a new standard for that, Heather, that we're going to have to keep going from these big shows that we do. But there's
Okay.
another standard, and that is recording the content and sharing it with others. So I'm not going to announce anything right now. I just want you all to stay tuned. Things are going to happen. Look for all of our announcements. Keep following us right here on LinkedIn. You'll also get that notice about our new news desk. Some fun stuff coming for all of you who didn't get a chance to go, but you should be thinking about planning for May of 2025, because Microsoft 365 Community Conference will be back again in May of 2025. And it is really our premier show besides our own flagships like Ignite. And it happens at a great time of the year too, where you can balance, the announcements. And really, it's about going deeper with the technology, whereas Ignite is very much about new things and announcements and what have you. So they're fantastic. Check out their website. They have a letter to convince your boss. And, just haven't watched this. You should come. We think you should come.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and May is ripe with events, everybody. I mean, we're in the middle. I'm going to get on a plane today and fly to Germany for European Collaboration Summit with a bunch of folks from our team. Super excited about that event. That event's been going on for, over decades, and they're sold out. I'm super excited for the team, and Build is coming up. So we have a link to also the .NET team did a great write-up of what they're doing at Build, and so that's on the dev blogs as well.
I need to read that.
Yeah, so they've got a great lineup of sessions, and a lot of teams are doing that, where they'll do like a roll-up of like, here's what our team is doing at Build. So keep your eyes out for those. Different teams have those, and Karuana and I usually highlight those in our own social media and amplify them, looking out for those kinds of things that are coming. So that's really, really exciting. And there's just a smattering of free events coming up, community days events. So communitydays.org is our one-stop shop for free events put on by the community and paid events put on by producers. But we've got IM Tech Summit Europe coming up on the 15th in Brighton in the UK, Get GS LATAM Conference coming up in the 16th and 17th, and Ciudad de Mexico, M365 Philly on the 18th in Melbourne, I can't say SharePoint today. SharePoint Internet Festival on the 22nd. There's 3. They're all virtual too. So there's an Americas, an EMEA, and an APAC, all happening on the 22nd. Oh, wow. Yeah, super cool. Power Platform Developer Summit on the 25th in Paddington, London. It's such a pretty office. Power Platform Community Day, Japan, and Ishikawa, Japan. Dynamics UG Spring Conference in Oslo, Norway. I mean, it's just, we keep going and going and going. It's bananas. In May, there's a couple more. Fabric OpenAI Day in Vancouver and Calgary. Be Connected in Milan, Collab Days Netherlands and Utrecht, AMS in Marseille, and Collab Days Madrid coming into Spain. I popped into June a little bit on those, but tons of free events. European Collab Summit this week. Also this week is Dynamics Con Live, which is in Denver, Colorado. That's going to be an awesome show. And following up right after that, Dynamic Minds in Portoroz, Slovenia. So tons of things going on. And I know that a bunch of us from our team and the Power Platform team are also going to TechCon 365 PowerCon, which is coming up back in Seattle in June. So a lot of folks there, and Power Platform, European Power Platform Conference in June coming up in Belgium. So just so many wonderful events coming up. And, it's going to be a busy summer. I think May is probably the one that's most chock full that I've seen so far. Just great.
It's crazy. So, I mean, the overarching thing of one of the main reasons we list all those free events for you is because we want you to know about the opportunities that are available in your particular area. Now is the time to lean in and invest in yourself, whether you're using Microsoft Learn, LinkedIn Learning, coming to these free events. Take advantage of this area, of this free training for whatever area you happen to be interested in. And then take one course about something you don't know anything about that you normally don't do. right? Stretch yourself, expand
Yep.
yourself as a technologist, as a user experience person, as a super user, whoever you are out there. This free skilling is going to be important because more than understanding the technology, building your muscle at being able to learn quickly from these sorts of tools is really, that agility is what's going to help you thrive in this era of AI and more. So we want you to know about all the fun stuff that's happening. Yes, Harian is planning her community days in Chicago in July. That's going to be fantastic. Anything that happens in Chicago is always good.
Yeah,
Love
absolutely. And
Chicago.
we're planning LA in September, I believe. We're going to release that
Yeah,
date momentarily. We've been talking about Arizona as well.
I know. It's going to
So
be so
yeah, really
exciting.
super excited.
So
Yeah.
we
Oh,
have a
and the
ton
fourth week of the month.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the fourth week of the month, y'all, on MGCI as well. We have event training,
Right.
and so last month I took everybody through a budget training. Those meetings are run. David Wilhelm, David Levier, and Wes Preston run that subcommittee, and I pop in and help with the training, but they do most of it. This next time, coming up on the 30th of May, we're going to be doing event sponsorship how-to. So if you're interested in that, definitely come sign up for MGCI and we'll get you loaded into all the general meeting and the event training meetings. Those two are the big ones during the month. And we bring in guest speakers a lot of the time. And, Tiffany runs the general session ones and she brings in amazing guest speakers. We have someone from Loop coming in this time from the product team.
Loop for event management people. Loop
Yeah.
for the win. We used Loop a ton in the run up to M365 conference. I'm just finishing building out the kind of architecture for how we're going to manage the news desk and the new channel, and SharePoint and lists, and Loop is a big part of that. I love Loop because it lets me unify the people in my Outlook world and the people in my Teams world.
Yeah.
And so much innovation is coming from those folks. I'm excited to say we're going to do a whole Meet the Maker series with them, which is very exciting. Mark Cashman's out on the call helping us today, and he's running point on that with the engineering team, much like we did for the planner group. And so I'm really excited about that because I got to meet Ron and some of the team at CommsV Next recently. They are so enthusiastic. You just know when you meet people that just love what they do. And are excited about the product making that they're doing. And I want everybody to be able to meet them. So I'm really excited to do that interview. We'll let you know when that gets scheduled. And I'm thrilled that they're coming into the family. And we're bringing them along. So
I have a fun thing that I wasn't sure if you remembered or not, by the by. So last night I was looking at Facebook because like one does. Facebook memory popped up. So you know that this is our 1 year anniversary week of this show because we started on May 15th and you did a video on the 13th, which was why it popped up in my memory, or today popped up in my memories of announcing that we were doing this. So
oh my goodness, no, I didn't remember. That is awesome, Heather.
So happy anniversary of Coffee in the Column. This is our 25th episode. So
happy anniversary. Monday's at Microsoft. A happy anniversary. And this is one example of we had a crazy idea, it seemed to catch on, and here we still are. That is fantastic. I'm really glad that you mentioned that because no, I did not remember.
Yeah, well, I didn't frankly either. And I was looking and I was like, oh my goodness, wow. And yeah, you put a video out announcing it. And
I'm going to have to do a little Facebook Live action here after this show. Be like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's the 15th, so it's this week. But yeah.
Okay, that's perfect then. That is perfect because we're going to have our next show on Memorial Day. That is a holiday in the U.S., but we're going to be here bright and early before we go off to our respective 3-day week. Remember, finish the rest of our 3-day weekend. May 27th. Don't miss it. We're going to have a lot of cool announcements that day. And of course, you can always catch us on demand if you miss us live or if we're not friendly to your time zone. We just love being with all of you. And thank you for all of the comments and the encouragement. Let us know what else we can do that would be helpful in this show that you really need to understand. or want us to cover, we are both news reporters at heart and journalists and storytellers at heart. So we like going out there and finding the story and bringing it back to you.
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing.
Yeah.
Also, just to shout out as well, it was just, as we talked about it, it was Mother's Day yesterday, and just
yes.
shout out to all the moms out there, all the moms that we're missing, all that we've lost, all the moms, all the matriarchs, all the queens, all the goodness out there, to all the moms and my mom, and I know shout out to your mom too. So,
Thank you. I made her an epic dinner and had her over in my pool yesterday. She was incredibly happy. And I want to give a quick shout out to Aaron and Mark and Stephen, who are behind the scenes and making the show. They're the ones making all those cool little pop-ups. They're making it so professional. We appreciate you tremendously. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you again on Monday, May 27th. Stay tuned for more announcements in our feed. And thank you so much for your support. We'll see you soon. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.